Alrighty, a nice and interesting day in crypto. We cannot sit here and say crypto is not interesting. All of a sudden this morning, we got quite a big red candle. We got to remember that we have a look over here. We are zooming in. We're looking at what this is currently meaning right now. If we look at the bubbles, we do see that we're starting to get a little bit of a quick pullback. And now the big question is, is there any big news that's happening behind this? Why are we getting this pullback? Or do we need to understand that when it comes down to bull markets or comes down to bull legs, that there is something called leverage, and there is something that called FOMO, and there is something that called late buyers. And remember, what I spoke about was because we got the total 2 breakout and we started to get the altcoins start to rally, you are inviting the door to retail. And when retail come, what is retail? Retail is someone that is a late buyer. That's exactly how it works. So for me at the moment, as things stands, this looks like a liquidation hunt. It looks like Bitcoin has had this pullback and has come down to this trend line over here. This is the very important trend line to know how big is this pullback. Is it going to get bigger? Is it about to go a lot more? And ultimately, what I do like to see, guys, it doesn't matter. I'm here to breathe. If you think this is a big one, like the one that I think that comes in May is way bigger. You need to use these little lessons now as little important things that when the market does go bullish, it does come like this, guys. You do have these wicks. You do have these crazy red candles that come out of nowhere. They do happen many times. What's very important here is to not make stupid decisions and to not just act purely on emotions. I'm here to calm you, and I'm here to say, guys, focus purely on the chart and focus what has come. Again, if you go back to where we were a few weeks back, where Bitcoin had the huge jump all the way from the 25,000 all the way down to 20. Everyone was panicking. It was the end of the world, all these sort of things. And 2 weeks later, Bitcoin is 28,000. Now, we got to just look and be okay. Is this serious? Is it really a start to a strong pullback within the market? Is this temporary run at the moment done? What I did notice was dominance is going up. Now, guys, this is the complete opposite to what's been happening the last few weeks, because dominance has been following Bitcoin. And whenever the market dumped or Bitcoin dumped, dominance was always going down. Remember, it was protecting the altcoins. And now all of a sudden what you have is you have the dominance going up when Bitcoin's dumping. So we've definitely had the reversal. And what that basically means is bigger gains to the upside with altcoins and bigger dumps when they come down. And that's why it's so important that I spoke about the major alts and the breakout of the major alts, that they were gone. We do not buy those anymore. We focus on total 3 now because we haven't broken yet, but this is where we want to focus because it's teaching you not to chase the ones that are already gone. And if you have a look quickly, simply here, because I'm about to go through a show where let's go through everything. Let's go through the levels of Bitcoin. Let's go through where the altcoins are. But I want to bring back and say, before you just sit and have these huge panics, you look at something like Phantom as the example, as one of the first total 2 coins that we've been running. That's the run that it's at. That's the dump that it's at. That's the trend line. That's the break. There's no major daily breaks just yet, but we do need to confirm that on this dump that we do hold certain levels to make sure that this is actually opportunity and not an actual exit opportunity. That's the 2 scenarios we're going to go through. It's a massive show today. No more wasting time, Josh. Let's hit the show.
Click. Have you heard the news? What? With his finger on the pulse, it's like Sheldon knew. Click. When the sniper shoots, we got Sheldon on the chart, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. So enter the sniper, click. Time to be dedicated, sniper mode is activated. Explosions in the market are in target, and Sheldon demonstrates. Mirror on the wall, Master Sheldon tell us all. We got Sheldon on the chart, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. Enter the sniper, click. Enter the sniper.
Yo, Banter fam, happy Wednesday to you all. Yes, red day, they do come now and then. You got to remember to sit and zoom out and understand where we're at. Is it time to make big decisions, or is it time to start looking at opportunities? That's the big question we have today. Now, I'm here to calm you guys down. Relax. This is small. So what I think that comes in May, I think it's 3 times the size of this, if not way bigger that comes. I still don't see the reversal of dominance. So for me, we're still in the attack of bullishness, and we're still holding trend as we speak. Now, we do have to hold major levels, and we've got to see what's happening around the world as well. I think there was the inflation data that came out in Europe or somewhere there. I'm busy finding out what maybe caused the actual dump. You got many people trying to guess what that basically is. For me, it's very simple. People are starting to come into the market. Money's starting to flood. You're starting to see meme coins run. You're starting to see a lot of retail that's just starting to come. Now, I don't think retail are here just yet. And that's why I think this is a smaller one. I don't think this is the end, but we'll go through the levels on where I do get slightly concerned. But ultimately, where we are now, I think this is a liquidation hunt. I think basically there's a lot of late leverage buyers. And let's not lie. Who's in here now that got hurt from leverage? Say yes in the comments. I got destroyed from leverage. Like, no offense, but you wanted the retail. Like, it's just the truth of it. And you need to sit and finally be open and honest with yourself that you stop coming late. Like, that's a very big one. Because for me, my dot entries and all the leverage entries and the counts that we've been running on, we're perfectly fine because we've been doing this for the last 2 weeks. So we've been getting entries way back then. And we did get stopped out on some trades, amazing. But ultimately at entries and things like that. So I got hardly affected at all from this current push as well. And you need to be honest with yourself too. If you got destroyed, like, you need to change very quickly, because I think you're going to have another attempt to still make it right. But make sure that by the time May comes, if we get the really big one that I'm talking about that can come, you need to be ready and don't make these silly mistakes. Right now, to be about being calm and making good decisions, guys. Very, very, very important. Don't allow it. All of you guys, a lot of people made silly mistakes here where Bitcoin did fall from 25 to 20K. A lot of people panicked out. It was the end of the world. I was very near panicking out myself. I did end up adding slightly to my long term here and holding my long term. And therefore, I'm in the game. And remember, this game is there to flush out the weak and to give those that are patient the opportunities. So it's really big. So let's quickly jump through and let's look at where are we currently with Bitcoin. So yes, we did hit the zone. I've been speaking about the zone. The zone is the 30,000, 32,000 that I think Bitcoin's getting toppy. I think that we are getting to the top range, but I do think Bitcoin ranges. I don't think the big dump just happens just yet. Now, I want to take you guys back quickly to the initial dump that happened, one of the first bull markets, right? And it was the first one because we basically had a two-legged bull market, the last bull market. But what you basically want to see when you start to see this idea of a really big dump, of a really big reversal, is you see what price actually does, is what you actually start to get. And this is what's important, because we want to take this pattern here. And this is something that we saw play out then over many different days. And this ended up being the top. It ended up being the reversal of Bitcoin all the way up to 65,000. That then made it come down all the way to the low 30s. And ultimately, we got to pay attention to what happened here. And what you always want to see is you have two options. And I've always said it when it comes into crypto. You basically have the option of where you have very strong strength, where price comes up, strong strength, it's a load up and it continues. Or you do have the offloading signal. And the offloading signal is we spend a little bit of time in a range. We have the offloading of the smart money. Okay, what they do next, and this is where they're very, very, very clever, is while they're busy offloading Bitcoin, they send the altcoins. So in that time, think about it. Like, that's why Bitcoin always runs first, right? It runs first, all the money flows, and then Bitcoin slows down. And when Bitcoin slows down, if you guys remember, this was the area where altcoins went absolutely berserk. They went absolutely crazy in this time. So what they do is while they're offloading Bitcoin, they bring the altcoins to life. What does that do? It brings a ton of retail into the market, a ton of inexperience into the market. And that's what you basically have, right? And then while they're offloading and they get to the ready levels, they have all this money in the market, they have leverage flying through the roof, they then start to send it down. But you got to now pay attention to the first key clues. The first key clue was we were very much moving in momentum, yes, but we started to slow down in this area over here. And for the first time, we started to print some slightly lower lows. So this is important because when you have a higher time frame when we're moving up, you obviously want to maintain the higher lows and the higher highs and continue the momentum. And what you're basically looking for is the first sign was us losing that basic trend. And secondly, it was the lower low and then the lower high. It's basically like the last chance sort of exit. And that's important because you've just seen a dump right now, right? And what you want to see is if we hold support, amazing, but where do we go after that? And if we don't clear a certain level, has this been offloading, on the shorter time frame for Bitcoin? Very important. So you always have the two different main decisions to make over here. So what we're paying attention to now is we're in a similar scenario now where Bitcoin's been making its way slowly up. We had it hit the 30K. Then we had the dump off. Now it's important to see where do we hold that support and where do we end off on this little bounce over here too. And if it's a lower high and we do break that low, like this might be the reversal. Now, What are we talking about reversal-wise? We're talking a test, right? A test of areas that we haven't tested since we broke out. And what are those areas? If I show you very quickly on the chart here, what are the areas that Bitcoin has not tested since it broke out? And I can very much highlight this area over here. You can see it there very clearly. So ever since we did break through, we never really tested. And it's a very similar thing that happened on the leg before, was you basically had this big pump over here. We never had this area over here that was tested. And ultimately, price eventually came back and tested. Ended up being a huge buying opportunity and price moving. But that's what you sort of start to see when a price moves really quickly. It does leave slight imbalance. And guys, you got to look at everything like this. Like I'm saying, zoom out here. That's the daily candle right now. Okay, that's the daily candle. Yes, on the 1 hour, it looks crazy. The 1 hour does definitely look very crazy. But ultimately, you want to make sure that you're aware that you don't see that sort of candle on the daily. You know, when you see that on the daily, that's when the pressure starts to move. So end of the day, when it comes down to where we're at now, we are still in trend, and I'm going to go through that shortly. But we want to make sure that, are we starting to pull back to this level over here? Because if we're starting to pull back to this level over here, it is quite a decent pullback from Bitcoin. And it is quite a strong one. And if you have a look over here, probably 15 to 20%. So this is ideally the main thing that we're focusing on today's dump, is to see, is this opportunity to add more to our bags, or is it time to slightly de-risk on some of the portfolios because maybe there's a bigger one coming? Now, guys, we need to remember that we still have the very important moving averages. We still have all these sort of things that are pointing incredibly strong to the upside. We're still in bullish momentum. I explained to you guys about that chart that I had where as long as we hold 200-day moving average, we still have the attempt to be bulls, right? And ultimately, that is the areas. But the big one we obviously want to focus on is the weekly. That's the big one over there. The weekly is currently sitting at the areas of the $25,000 to $26,000 range. Smash the like button, guys. I'm not here on the red days. I'm here. Like, let's go. And I'm even doing something more better today. Is straight after this call, we're having a half-an-hour break. And then that live session that I do for school every day, that's why you want to join Sniper School, guys. Have a look below. Register for Sniper School. We went through all of this morning. It was incredible. Like, people are starting to be a lot more relaxed. After this, we're having a half-an-hour break. And then I'm opening that live session on this channel too. So you're going to have me for the whole afternoon today, where we're going to go through this dump because I want to see, is there trades here? I want to see, is there trades? Like that's the big one. Is this opportunities? And we'll need a little bit of an hour to detect that because we want to see if price slows down. But ultimately, guys, we do have the two areas. Maybe if this pullback and we start to lose this trend within today, tomorrow, we could start a little bit of a bigger pullback. I'm going to work hard on going through all the altcoins with you guys then and saying, okay, guys, let's make some decisions here. It's not the end. It's not anything like that. What do we do to be smart? Because the only reason you'd ever want to get out here is for a huge farming opportunity. That's the only reason. Because until Bitcoin's below the 200 weekly and below these things, it's never been bullish before, never been bearish before, as long as we hold those lines. So I want to make sure you still stay in contact, that you need to understand that it's a part of the game where you do have these liquidations and these pullbacks. But as long as we hold certain levels, think about it, guys. We'd never crossed the 200 MA on the daily for a very long time. And ever since we lost it, we were in this like incredibly run to the downside. And what we didn't remember was the day we broke it was a big significant thing. And when we tested it, the guys that really knew the significant sort of level that this was a huge opportunity for them to add to their bags. And end of the day, we bounced on it perfectly and it remained bullish. We got to remember what Bitcoin has done this year and stay focused. You got to control so much emotion in you right now. And I get it, guys. I feel you. I know this game is crazy. And I know that it really sucks when you're new and you're coming into the space and you make a mistake because it hits you pretty hard. This game it's really brutal when you make a mistake as a newbie or beginner or anything like that. But I need you to understand that it takes a little bit of time within the game, but you start to control these things and you start to become really good with it. You really, really do. And that's why I teach so much in Sniper School and stuff, is to remove the emotion and to have these systems. So let's simplify quickly today and let's keep it calm. And remember, day by day now, as we take it, I don't think it's done just yet. I really don't. I think in May, we see way bigger. For now, I still see a total 3 breakout. I still see these things for now until something is proven differently, and then we slightly adjust the strategy. So for now, we have this trend line on the 4 hour, and that's the momentum we want to hold. And what it's basically saying on this dump is we have not, I just showed you guys the areas we haven't tested on the daily, right? We had this breakout over here. We haven't tested it. Okay, now let's zoom in and look at that same pattern again on the 4 hour. We broke out over here. We broke out and we never tested it. We haven't had a serious test to this area just yet. So right now we are there. So what we want to see now is we want to see, let's go to the 4 hour. There we go. So we haven't tested these supports. So I think Bitcoin can come even slightly a little bit lower to the 28,800. I do think it can go a little bit lower, but ultimately where I want to hold on this level is above the 28,600, 28,500. That's the level I want to hold, and that's the level I want to close above today. As long as we close above that, we're still holding that momentum sort of trend. And then what I'm still thinking is I think that Bitcoin still runs in this current momentum, okay, where it's still basically from here. We will see if there's more bullishness. We'll see about the dominance. We'll talk about dominance now. But I still think it ranges in this area. And I do think in May, you can see my times in May over here. I do think we finally lose that. I think there might even be a slightly little bit of a higher of Bitcoin. I don't think, and this is just me personally now as it speaks, I think we need an altcoin catch up still. I think we still need more of a dominance drop to around the 44, 45, get the rest of the market cap up there. And then I do think it's a decent weekly correction. We do know on weekly, if we have a look, and I've been speaking about this correction. I've been speaking that I don't think it's now, but I do think it's coming. Here we go. Look at that weekly stochastic RSI. So we definitely know a higher time frame. Last time it literally took from 24, it literally took 3 weeks. The last time we had a decent pullback like that. And that's something that we can sort of expect again. And I do think it still comes within May. So what I think price actually does is I still think from here we range. I think this is going to be a good opportunity within the major alts and things like that to be loading up. First, I do want to see that we hold this. If I zoom in here, what I want to see on the smaller time frame is I want us actually just to calm down slightly, where we may be a little bit lower and just calm down for a little bit and then start this road up. We've seen it before, guys. We've seen the dumps and we've seen the recoveries. Why would this be any different until proven wrong or proven something different slightly over there? So as things stand, I'm still sticking to the original plan. Now, if things do change and we do start to close below here tomorrow, what will basically happen was we'll break down, we will close in these areas, and we can start a decent pullback. I showed you guys about this pattern. Now, the only difference that you could see is I showed you the May crash, right, of the bull run, where price went up and it made these sort of legs. The only difference here is it's usually a little bit more time than what we have over here. And that's why I'm thinking it's still forming that pattern. I do think we're getting a slight bit of offload here for a bigger pullback. I'm not saying new lower lows. I'm saying a possible test of the 25K. But I still think that there's a little bit more time here to offload. A little bit more time for them to offload. They send the altcoins because they're offloading on Bitcoin. They release the rest of the market in that sort of sense. And then after that, we have a whole market pullback within that. So until we do have any closes below the 28,600 sort of area today, the plan does not change. And it's very important for you to be that. Real Sniper Sheldon, I'm real, guys. I'm here and I understand exactly what we're doing. Like, we're making these decisions. And like I said, if we do close below, there'll be a retest and then there'll be a start. And this will be our area to offload quite a bit. Now, I'm going to be very strict about this because when I came into this, and I've been speaking about it a lot this morning on the Sniper School, and I've been speaking about what are you truly building here? The only thing that we would do if this market starts to lose these trends is shift so much of our coins into Bitcoin and ETH. Like for me, exiting the market now is crazy. It's crazy at that sort of point. I would go into the safe assets that I really want, which is Bitcoin, ETH, and then looking at when I can start to make more of them. The reason why we ever get out of Bitcoin is to make more Bitcoin. It's the outperformance of Bitcoin. That's why we do it. And I showed this again. You know, I showed it this morning on the charts again of that understanding of holy crap. Like if I started in the first bull market of 2021 and I started this area with 1 ETH, you know, I'd be $700 in profit right now. But if I actually traded ETH to a pair and I focused on a simple strategy on the weekly, it would have been 6 trades and I'll be sitting with 36 Ethereum. Like, so the power of it and what I'm trying to get to you here is stop worrying about the damn dollar. This is dollar values that are falling here. I'm worried about when does my Bitcoin come into attack? When can I start losing the actual Bitcoin? Because the strategies that I've been teaching also in school and stuff is you would have 36 Ethereum right now in the exact same time off of 6 trades, or you would have had $700 profit just by holding your ETH. Look here, guys, just these very basic, simple 2-step tool. You'll be sitting with 30. You're sitting with $70,000 worth of Ethereum right now. Or you could have went and bought your Ethereum. Let me show you. You could have bought your Ethereum and you could have just held. So here's the start of the last bull market. You buy, you hold. Best scenario, you sold it at 4,800. Best scenario, okay? So you maybe made, how much is it? $3,600. Great, amazing, okay? And ultimately, who knows where you'd be buying right now, okay? Or the second option is you hold it all the way, and now you're sitting at $750 profit. So because you're attached to the dollar, you never know where you're going to actually really sell it. So you never know when you're going to actually sell your ETH or sell your Bitcoin or sell any of your tokens actually. And that's why by actually removing the dollar and learning that the only time that I'm going to sit here and say, guys, now it's getting serious, is when I believe we should move back into Bitcoin or ETH. That's the only time on that. The dollar means absolutely shit to me. I don't know about you guys. I want to remind you again, my fuel is getting very expensive. My groceries is getting very expensive. My rent, everything in life is getting crazy expensive. So let's stop worrying about this little stupid currency on the right over here. And let's make sure we're building the real ones. And that's the only time I'm going to make any big decisions is when my Bitcoin or ETH starts to get into trouble. Now, so you can have a look here, guys. It's incredible. So I will share this. I will share this with you guys. You will find it on Discord. Now, what is the indicators for us to know that our Bitcoin or our ETH is getting into trouble? It will be this dominance. It will be the dominance of where we're at right now. So like I said, the big shift that happened in dominance right now is we actually had the shift of when Bitcoin is going up, dominance was going up. And when Bitcoin was coming down, dominance was coming down. And now all of a sudden in the last, 48 hours, it's reversed. So for me, it's very clear that the strength is still within the altcoins, because what it basically means is, yes, they get hit harder on the red, but ultimately on the green, they're going to grow a shit ton more. And the fact that we shifted it and we changed it, it's sort of going back to what the normal part of the market actually does. Because what was crazy, I don't know if you guys remember last week, I think we had a dump off last week, or it was a while, but Bitcoin was getting dumped more than altcoins. And I'm like, whoa, why are people jumping to altcoin for safety? Like, that makes no sense at all. I'm glad we're back. So what I'm seeing basically here is I am seeing this little retest over here. And remember what I said about offloading, when you have this pattern that forms up like this over here at the top. That's what I'm seeing very similar here. So for me, as it stands, I still think Bitcoin bounces on that trend, which is an important one. So as I said, the 28,600, but I'm seeing a lower high from the dominance, and I'm still seeing another leg. And when we finally get through this area over here is acceleration. I think we come here. It shows me May. I'll probably say the early May, if not mid-May. And then I see the huge dump from Bitcoin where the dominance spikes up to these areas and the whole market pulls back incredibly strong. So let's quickly jump through some of the altcoins and let's quickly have a look at where are they. Guys, I'm here. Relax. And I'm with you the whole day today. So we can track this dump. We can see what's happening. Because all that I see, again, Polkadot, come and test trend, 200-day moving average. Like, was this an opportunity? You know what I mean? Because it looks like it's bouncing as it speaks. And if it does bounce here, it would have been an incredible opportunity to get it. So let's track dots. Let's track a lot of these tokens and many of them. Solana, come on trend. There was the resistance. I said after this is when we're expecting the explosion. Test, retest, test on 200-day moving average. Is it a huge opportunity to buy Solana? This is the big things, because all that we've done is come and test support. Look at AVAX, literally perfectly to the dollar, how it broke this trend and came and tested it spot on. Guys, for me, the total 3 wasn't even released yet. The alt run didn't even happen yet. But when it happens, it's fast. It's going to happen really quick. While it's happening, they're offloading on Bitcoin. And then we have the huge reversal 2-3 weeks later. Because this is going to bring in retail. It's going to bring everyone in. Retail just got a little shock now for the late buyers and the guys that came in for leverage and all these sort of things that came in. They just got a shock, definitely. And that's what I'm saying. You're still early. You're early retail if you're in right now. There's more coming. And the sad thing is they are going to get destroyed. When the views of the show goes to 50, 60K, like as much as I love everyone, I'm trying my best. Like the people that are here from the 30, 35, the guys that have been watching now for the last month, you guys are the ones that are going to be okay throughout these times and you're surviving and do good through these times. The guys that are coming later on, come to think they are the late ones and they are the ones that are going to get hurt. So it just comes down to that emotional game, guys. But look here again, AVAX. So you wanted to buy 2 days ago. Do you want to buy it now? It's a big question. And all of a sudden, if they're in the zones in the retest and you want to load some for your portfolio, that altcoin portfolio, you missed some of them, anything like that, amazing. The only thing that you get concerned about is if Bitcoin starts closing below that trend line today. If that does, okay, whoa, let's de-risk slightly. Doesn't mean it's changed and the outcome's not coming, things like that. Let's de-risk a little bit. Maybe Bitcoin wants to have a little bit of a bigger pullback, and then we expand again as we go. It's about being calm and stop being shaken out of this crazy volatility. You are here. Deal with the volatility. Understand that it's here. Stop being weak hands, guys. I'm here to help you stop being the weak hands and stop being panicked out. Again, we look at Phantom, which I think comes cheaper, could come cheaper. We had an option, and this is where it gets quite tough in the market, is maybe the market wasn't going to pull back. And that's where I was sitting for the last 2 days, was maybe this was just going to go, because we saw it with Bitcoin. Bitcoin hardly pulled back and just went and went and went. And was it going to be the same for the altcoins? And what ended up happening is that it is the pullback and it is the retest, which we never retest any of them before. So pay attention on Phantom again. All of these tokens, this whole entire list, I'm going to go through in the live session, guys. So I'm here with you guys. 𝗏𝗏𝗍𝗏 Sheldon is here. I'm here, guys. But I'll go through all of them with you. But again, we're going to look at, is this an opportunity for Phantom? It's cheaper now. It's great in the zone now. You know, many of these tokens, as in Cardano, as in any of them, there's Cardano. Look right now. For me, that looks like a break. That's a daily, guys. Like, that doesn't look at that. Break retest. Like, is this the perfect time for more Cardano? Is it perfect time for more NEAR? Is it perfect time for more Ethereum? Let's speak about Ethereum for a second. Let's go into Ethereum now, because many want to buy at 21. All I see is a RS flip. That's what I see for now. Yes, I'm being cautious. Yes, I'm making sure Bitcoin holds ground. I see a high and I see a retest. If there's anything to understand, that when it comes to crypto, where you have like this level that you keep hitting, okay, and you eventually break it and you do this, I know that as a RS flip. I know that as a bullish momentum flip. So yes, Bitcoin showing weakness, and we got to pay attention. We got to see that, is this serious or not? But what I see is you couldn't get ETH then, and I'm seeing a retest right now. This might be a huge opportunity to finally get some of your ETH. You know, so guys, I want you to look at this differently. So jump on to the next session. I'm jumping on. Give yourself get some coffee, get some stuff. In 40 minutes, I'm jumping on again, and we're going to go through everything. I might even be trading some of these actual trades. I want to show you what we do in Sniper School. I want to show you how we come together as a family. The fact that the market can be like this, and you can go jump on a 2-hour call right now with a whole bunch of the same people that can sit there and we can analyze and go through and start making some good decisions. It's not just about the leverage trades and about the day trading. It's about sitting and being, okay, guys, let's make some decisions. When the markets are green, we're there. When the markets are red, we're there. Guys, I'll see you just now. Get the coffee. Love you lots. And I'll see you in the next, I would say, 40 minutes. 40 minutes, 45 minutes. I'll be live again on the stream. Much love, Banter fam.